want it, get it, don't ever give up, you got it. You wanna make it, then chase it, no one can stop you. Stop you, they're gonna hate you, but let them hate you, that's fine. Cause if they stand in your way, then you gotta leave them behind.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Sam or Burns, and welcome to this week's episode of the South Alabama Dynasty. We are in week 8, coming off of bye week last week. As you saw right there, just doing a little bit of adjusting on the recruiting board. And then we got 5 prospects ready for a visit. We got Chris Horner. He's a 58 overall cornerback. Obviously not the best prospect, but it doesn't hurt to have a little depth. And we're going to go ahead and schedule him for against UL Monroe. And then Vince Childress, a 61 over middle linebacker. I went ahead and scheduled him for Arkansas State. I have a lot of prospects visiting that week, so I'm hoping I can get the job done. Now Billy Cooper, a 67 overall athlete, gonna go ahead and schedule him for week 15 against the UL Lafayette Ragin' Cajuns. So we're gonna go ahead and schedule that visit right there. And then Anthony Franklin, a guy we're really pursuing pretty hard, mainly because outside linebacker is one of our needs. Gonna visit him. Schedule him a visit for against UL Monroe, getting those complimentary visit bonus points right there, which I think is a really cool addition to recruiting this year, one thing I really do enjoy. And as for Justin Craig, another outside linebacker, I went ahead and scheduled him for Arkansas State as well. So now look at some of the top stories. The number 3 Oregon Ducks upset 19-6 by Washington. Huge upset right there. Definitely a big story in the Pac-12. And then in other places around the country, you see Michigan up to number 3, A&M still keeping that number 2 ranking, and then you see Tennessee's ranked, a team we almost beat. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the top 25 real quick. Ohio State, A&M, Michigan, Louisville, Boise up to number 5, Florida, Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Oregon rounding out your top 10. Oregon obviously dropping from the 3rd spot, and Washington jumping from unranked all the way up to 18th after that big win. You see who dropped out of the top 25. Clemson, UCLA, Nebraska, Ole Miss, and Baylor all out of the top 25. So Sun Belt Conference standings, Boston's Georgia State Panthers up to number 3 with a 4-2 record, 1-0 in the conference. I sit in 6th place with a 2-3 record, 1-1 in the conference. So we're looking here at the Heisman race. Jay Ajayi from Boise, obviously doing work. And then your Week 7 Sun Belt players of the week last week. I didn't obviously have any, but we're going to get in this game.
The EA Sports NCAA Football 14 pregame show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. Sometimes one of the hardest things to do in college football is to stand your ground by keeping the ball on the ground. Over the last decade or so, we've seen an offensive explosion, much of it centered around the passing game. It's sort of refreshing to see a team believe that it can win at the highest level by running the football in an old school kind of way. That does it for us here on the NCAA College Football pregame show. Enjoy the game. We'll see you at the half.
Alright, so we're taking on Kent State this week. I believe they're the Golden Flashes, or the Golden Flash, something along those lines. But we're back in Lad Peoples Stadium in Mobile, Alabama, raining again. And we're going to go ahead and get this game started. Star running back, though, the senior from Kent State, Dree Archer, had a huge game last game, 17 carries for 189 yards with a pair of touchdowns. And to get this game started, Fisher is going to hand off to Archer on the draw, and he's going to go running on the left side, and he's pushed down after about a 2-yard gain. You see those season rushing stats. He is having a phenomenal year for Kent State as they look to get another victory here against South Alabama. And in the shotgun, Fisher back to pass on 2nd down and 8. Nowhere really to go, and he is sacked. Loss of 9. David Fisher goes down. Romel Jones on the sack. And now we got a 3rd down and 17 for Fisher and Kent State. He is back to pass, sacked again. David Fisher, a loss of 7. And all Kent State did was go backwards after the sack by Alex Page. And now a 2nd down and 10 for Ross Matheny on the curl. Gonna hit Bryant Lavender. That's gonna be a 14-yard gain for the Jaguars to start things off here. And now Matheny, 1st down and 10 in the shotgun. Read option, gonna hand off to Jay Jones up the middle. Gonna be a gain of 7 yards. And that'll be close to a 1st down, not quite. Jay Jones with his first rush of the day. And now Matheny under center. Play action pass on the right side, looking for Wes Saxton. He's got him. 18-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars strike first here, heading into the studio update with a 7-0 lead.
Here's an update from the studio and restate it.
The Cardinals come into this one ranked number 4. It felt as if the game rested on every play. Louisville is victorious 24-21. Elsewhere, time for an update from the Sun Belt Conference, a league which has produced a number of speedy defenders. And for Western Kentucky, they've now dropped 3 in a row. Louisiana Lafayette gets the win 27-3.
So we had a trio of games updated right there, and you see our defense there on the first drive, how we did, allowing basically no yards, actually making Kent State go backwards. We'll see if we can do that again. 2nd and 7 for David Fisher. He is back to pass, looking on the right side. He's got Boyle. That is Josh Boyle's first catch of the day, an 11-yard reception. Going to be enough for a 1st down. Fisher with his first pass of the day. Good enough for the 1st down. So 2nd and 14 now for Fisher. He is back passing the shotgun formation. Left side, he's got Brooks. And that's going to be, he's going to roll a little bit over the South Alabama defender. Gain of 11 to make it a 3rd down and 3. And here is that 3rd and 3. Fisher back to pass out of the shotgun. He's got a man. It is Overton across the 40. A 19-yard reception for Chris Overton, as that is going to lead into a 2nd down and 7 for Kent State. Fisher in the shotgun on the left side. He's going to find Brooks, who drags his feet. A 17-yard gain, and Kent State is driving. 2nd and 9, handing off to star tailback Dree Archer. Up the middle, he's going to get 10. That's enough for a 1st down and makes it 1st down and goal for Kent State. But nonetheless, the Jaguars heading into the 2nd quarter with a 7-0 lead, although the Golden Flashes are knocking on the door with a chance to tie this ball game up at 7. But they can't quite do it, end up having to kick a field goal, and it is up and good. So South Alabama now only holds a 4-point lead, but a 1st and 10. Matheny going to go ahead and hand off to Jay Jones. He's got some blockers. That's a 7-yard gain for Jones on the left side, but we would have to punt on that drive, giving the ball back to Fisher and this offense, and he is in the shotgun formation. Looking, he's got a man. It is Brooks again. Big gain, 32 yards for James Brooks. Now a 3rd and 5 for Fisher in the shotgun, back to pass on the left side. He's got Price, who's going to avoid the tackler right there and get a 9-yard reception. Good enough for a 1st down for Casey Price, his first catch of the day. And David Fisher looking good so far, an efficient 6 of 7 for about 99 yards. 2nd and 13 now. Fisher back to pass, nowhere to really go. He waddles back and forth for a little bit, and he finds Chris Humphrey, not to be confused with Chris Humphreys of the Brooklyn Nets, but that's good enough for a 1st and goal. And then Fisher going to hand off to Durham, and he's going to walk into the end zone, although it looks like he was a little intoxicated as he was doing it, weaving back and forth. Nonetheless, it is a 10-7 lead for Kent State as Matheny is back to pass. He's looking over the middle, and that's picked off by Wallert. And just an overall bad decision right there by Ross Matheny. He was never really open, as Matheny with his first interception of the day, first turnover for either team. Now Fisher and the Kent State has a chance to take a commanding lead. It is James Brooks again, 17 yards. James Brooks playing very well so far. 1st and 10 now for the Kent State Golden Flashes. Under center, Fisher gonna hand off to Dree Archer, and he could have crawled into the end zone, absolutely untouched for the 18-yard touchdown run. As Kent State takes a 17-7 lead, starting to maybe run away with this game. About 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half, but Kent State starting to look like they are going to pull away in this game. We'll see what ends up happening. But Kent State's definitely looking good so far. And Matheny now back to pass, looking nowhere to really go. He's going to scramble on the right side, and he's going to step out of bounds after a 17-yard gain. Great play right there by Ross Matheny, and he is back to pass again. On the right side, he had a man, but I don't know what that was. He basically pitched it to the defender, and Polk's going to get the interception. That's a second turnover of the first half for Matheny. Kent State now with a chance to take a 24-7 lead. Fisher in the shotgun, empty backfield, and he's got on the right side, it's James Brooks. Who else but James Brooks having a huge day for Kent State. 157 passing yards for them overall. 10 of 12 for David Fisher. And now a 3rd down and 10. Fisher in the shotgun with a running back to his right side. He's looking on the left side. Got a man. It is Josh Boyle. 32 yards. And David Fisher gives Kent State a 24-7 lead, as it's starting to already look like a runaway game. 33 seconds to go. Matheny on 3rd and 15. He's got a man. It's Bryant Lavender for 16 yards. That's going to stop the clock as the chains move. And now running a little bit of no huddle. 1st down and 10. Matheny back to pass. He's got a man on the right side. It is Bryant Lavender, the 30. No one's going to touch him. He was uncovered as South Alabama strikes from 75 yards away, as Matheny going to get the touchdown pass to Bryant Lavender. Huge play right there, as you'll see the offensive production for Dree Archer compared to the rest of the team for Kent State. But a huge play for Bryant Lavender and for Ross Matheny in this offense. But we're going to go ahead and head into the halftime with a 24-14 game.
24-14, Golden Flashes.
Hi, everybody. Glad to have you with us on the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 halftime show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. Steve Davis, David Pollack here in the studio as always to lend a little perspective to what just went down in the first 30 minutes. Both pass offenses have been prolific, and really the biggest reason why, David, it seems to me anyway, quarterbacks back of their jersey not even dirty. I mean, they look just the same way they did when they came out of the dressing room. So what can the defense do in the second half to change that?
You could start by hitting the quarterback. Usually, Reese, as a defensive lineman, your goal is to make the quarterback feel some pain. Right now, he's not feeling any pain. Right now, basically, this is a Tuesday practice when most quarterbacks, this is why they're soft, by the way. Most quarterbacks come out to practice, they're wearing a green jersey, and they can sit back in the pocket and just sit there and pat the football once, twice, 3 times, then throw it. No, they're not going to get hit. It's a comfortable life. Hit him in the mouth a few times and watch those feet get a little bit happier and watch those incompletions come at a better rate.
That's going to do it at halftime, just about ready to start the second half.
All right, you finish it up, brother. I'm going to get something in the cafeteria. I'm hungry.
Look, wait, don't leave until you get my order. Brad Kirk, take the second half.
All right, so we are back, and we have the ball to start the first half. Matheny's got a man again. Who is it? Bryant Lavender. Down to the 9-yard line. A huge gain after a big kick return to start the half. And Matheny and the Jaguars are knocking on the door. Under center, looking over the middle on a slant pie, hits Bryant Lavender, the star of the last couple possessions, really, as he has made a big impact on this game, changing the game, in fact, as the Jaguars pull within 3 points, 24-21 now. Kent State still on top with a chance to strengthen that lead, I guess you could say. But 3rd and 6 for Fisher. Over the middle looking, he's got Chris Humphrey, but he had to come back and get the ball, only going to get 2 yards, as the Jaguars are going to get the ball back again with a chance to take the lead. But we got a game track here, and who else? It's going to be Bryant Lavender. You see Lavender having a huge day. You've seen it so far throughout, and we'll see the stats here in a second and on how he is doing. There it is right there. 5 catches for 156 yards and a pair of touchdowns. But 2nd and 10 now. Matheny is back to pass. On the left side, he's got Jeremy Jones. That's the first time I've called his name so far today. A 13-yard gain. That is his first catch of the day. Good enough for a first down. Has Matheny in the shotgun on the screenplay. Going to find Jeremy Jones again, running out of that monster formation, which is really fun to run. You only got 3 linemen, and then you got a bunch of guys split out. Basically, it sets up screenplays. And Jay Jones on the 4-yard run right there, going to get the Jaguars a first down. Jay Jones has been a really not... I don't know how you would say it. He hasn't been a very productive running back. But on the right side, that one was definitely forced. I really had nowhere else to go with the ball. Maybe someone else. I could have just thrown it away. I don't know what I was thinking when I threw that ball. But an interception. Matheny with his 3rd of the day, as Charles Chandler, that's a fun name, 9-yard reception. But Jay Jones, back to him. He has been a very unproductive back for us so far this year. He has about probably around 500 yards rushing, which isn't bad, but he hasn't really gotten the yards when we needed him. We've had to really rely on that passing offense. That's why we do have the #1 offense. But speaking of Jay Jones, a 15-yard run right there, but that's one of his longest runs of the season. He's only averaging about 4 yards a carry so far this year, so definitely I'm actually going to look into maybe replacing him. I don't know. He's only a sophomore, so he'll definitely develop next year and maybe in year after unless he declares for the draft. But, we'll see what happens. But Jay Jones right here on the draw play, starting to prove all that I'm saying wrong with a 10-yard run. He's having a pretty good game, at least for Jay Jones standards. 9-yard run, or 9 rushes, excuse me, for 50 yards. But Jeremy Jones, he's going to bounce off a tackler and get into the end zone. 20-yard touchdown off of a slant play as the Jaguars go up 28-24 on Kent State. Looking very good. They were down 24-7 in the first half, but we got a studio update.
Let's check in on a pair of top 25 teams. And for Oklahoma State, they hope to continue their winning ways. Oklahoma State leads it 31-24.
Great game between TCU and Oklahoma State. We'll see what happens in that one. But you see the offenses at a glance. A lot of offense so far today. As the Jaguars outgaining the Golden Flashes by about 70 yards. But we're heading into the fourth quarter. The Jaguars with a 4-point lead, 28-24. Hopefully if we put them away this quarter, it'd be nice to improve to 3-3. That would be awesome. Get back to 500 and have a shot at a bowl game. We'll see what happens. But again, offense at a glance. I don't know why I put this in here again, but I did. It was just like a little later because I can. Anyways, Fisher under center. He is back to pass. Looking on the right side. He doesn't really have a man. Almost sacked. And look who cleans him up. The Jaguars get the sack right there. Ramel Jones with his second sack of the day. Going to give the ball back to the Jaguar offense. 2nd and 17. But then he's got a man. It is Chavarez Smith. A great play right there. 21 yards for Smith. And now Matheny on the play action pass. Nowhere really to go. He is going to scramble up that right side and slide down inside the 10-yard line. Going to make it 1st and goal for the Jaguars, which would end up leading to this field goal try after the some unsuccessful attempts in punching it in the end zone. And the Jaguars go up by 7. In 1:56 to go now. Fisher is back to pass. He's looking. He is sacked right there. David Fisher, a loss of 8. Sacked on the play by Alex Page, his 2nd of the game. And now a 3rd and 18. All hope is pretty much lost here. We'll see what happens. And, oh, no, it's not. Josh Boyle, 35-yard reception. This game isn't over yet. 2nd down and 10 now. 1:26 to go. Fisher back to pass. Looking. Over the middle. He's got a man. Intercepted by Morrow. And this game is over. The Jaguars are going to walk, or at least stay here, but they're going to walk out of the stadium with a W, improving to 3-3 on the season, 31-24. It was definitely a pretty good game, a great comeback by the Jaguars. Down 17 at one point in the first half. Your player of the game is Bryant Lavender, much deserved, but a great comeback by the Jaguars, showing that they can win games in the clutch. And being down 24-7 in the first half was definitely troubling, but being able to shut them out the entire second half and score 17 more points than them the entire second half, definitely a great accomplishment for this young Jaguar team. And this is only their 2nd year in FBS football, going 2-10 last year, looking to improve on that as they already have, getting their 3rd win of the season, improving to 3-3. Kent State isn't a Sunbelt team, excuse me, so that still leaves us at 1-1 in conference play. So again, great win right here for the Jaguars. I'm going to go ahead and give you an update on what I'm doing with my coach skills right after this. But anyways, guys, I want to go ahead and thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy. And as always, I will see you guys next time.